Crash Course on United States Army. History, Organization, Leadership, and Global Operations. The United States Army is the largest branch of the United States military and has a long and storied history of service to the nation. In this crash course, we will cover the history, organization, leadership, and global operations of the U.S. Army, as well as provide some interesting stories and examples to excite our readers. History. The U.S. Army was founded on June 14, 1775, when the Continental Congress authorized the creation of a Continental Army to fight the British during the American Revolution. The Army played a crucial role in securing America's independence, and continued to serve the nation in conflicts such as the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, and the Civil War. During the 20th century, the U.S. Army played a critical role in both World War I and World War II, and has since been involved in numerous conflicts and peacekeeping missions around the world. Organization. Today, the U.S. Army is organized into several branches, including infantry, armor, artillery, aviation, and special forces. The Army is led by the Secretary of the Army and the Chief of Staff of the Army, who work together to oversee the day-to-day operations of the Army and ensure its readiness to respond to any threats to national security. Leadership. The U.S. Army places a strong emphasis on leadership and has a long tradition of producing some of the finest leaders in the world. The Army's leadership development programs are designed to train soldiers to be effective leaders, both on and off the battlefield. The Army's leadership principles emphasize the importance of taking care of soldiers, leading by example, and being accountable for one's actions. Global operations. The U.S. Army is a global force, with soldiers stationed all over the world to support U.S. interests and respond to threats to national security. The Army is involved in a wide range of global operations, including combat operations, peacekeeping missions, disaster relief efforts, and humanitarian aid. One of the most famous examples of the U.S. Army's global operations was the Gulf War in 1991. The U.S. Army led a coalition of nations in a successful effort to liberate Kuwait from Iraqi forces, and demonstrated the power and effectiveness of U.S. military might. Another notable example of the U.S. Army's global operations was the war in Afghanistan, which began in 2001 in response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The Army played a critical role in the early stages of the war, helping to topple the Taliban government and establish a stable government in Afghanistan. The U.S. Army has since been involved in ongoing efforts to maintain stability in Afghanistan and prevent the resurgence of extremist groups in the region. Interesting stories and examples. 1. Audie Murphy. One of the most famous soldiers in U.S. Army history is Audie Murphy, who served during World War II and received the Medal of Honor for his bravery and heroism. Murphy served in the European theater of the war, and was involved in numerous combat missions. Despite being wounded multiple times, Murphy continued to fight, leading his men in battle and taking out numerous enemy positions. After the war, Murphy went on to become a successful actor, but remained an advocate for veterans' issues for the rest of his life. 2. Battle of Mogadishu. In 1993, U.S. Army Rangers and Delta Force operators were involved in a battle in Mogadishu, Somalia, that became known as Black Hawk Down. The soldiers were attempting to capture key members of a Somali warlord's regime, but were met with intense resistance from armed militias. The battle lasted for 18 hours, resulting in the deaths of 18 U.S. soldiers and more than 1,000 Somalis. Despite the high number of casualties, the U.S. soldiers displayed incredible bravery and dedication to their mission. Many soldiers risked their lives to rescue wounded comrades and fought off enemy forces, demonstrating the strength and resilience of the U.S. Army. 3. D-Day. On June 6, 1944, U.S. Army soldiers were part of the largest amphibious invasion in history, as part of the Allied forces' effort to liberate Europe from Nazi Germany. The U.S. Army was involved in multiple landing zones along the coast of Normandy, France, and faced fierce resistance from German forces. Despite the difficult conditions, the U.S. Army soldiers were able to establish a foothold on the continent and begin pushing back against the German forces. The success of the D-Day invasion was a turning point in World War II and demonstrated the incredible bravery and skill of U.S. soldiers. 4. Operation Iraqi Freedom. In 2003, the U.S. Army led a coalition of forces in a campaign to oust Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein and prevent the development of weapons of mass destruction. The U.S. Army played a critical role in the invasion of Iraq, conducting multiple ground operations and working to stabilize the country after the fall of Saddam's regime. The U.S. Army faced significant challenges during the conflict, including insurgent attacks and sectarian violence, but continued to work towards the goal of a stable and democratic Iraq. 5. Women in combat. In recent years, the U.S. Army has made significant strides in integrating women into combat roles. In 2015, the Army announced that all military occupational specialties, including combat positions, would be open to women. This move has been hailed as a significant step forward for gender equality and has allowed more women to serve in the U.S. military and contribute to its mission. Overall, the U.S. Army has a rich history of service to the nation and continues to play a critical role in maintaining national security and promoting global stability. From its early days fighting for American independence to its current global operations, the U.S. Army has demonstrated bravery, dedication, and skill in the face of the world's toughest challenges. Here is a poem on U.S. Army. In the land of the brave and free, where the stars and stripes unfurl, there stands an army, strong and true, protectors of this world. Through battles fought and wars won, they've stood steadfast and tall, with courage in their hearts and souls, answering the nation's call. From Lexington to Baghdad, their duty never ends, defending freedom, justice, and peace. Through all corners of the lands, they march with honor, grace, and might. Their discipline is true. The U.S. Army, a shining light for all the world to view. So let us honor those who serve, their sacrifice and dedication, for they are the guardians of our freedom, the pride of our great nation. We hope this video has given you a taste of all the incredible experiences America has to offer. If you're ready to start planning your own adventure to North America, please ensure to use our Booking.com referral link, https://www.booking.com/index.html?8=7989335 to book your flights, hotels, car rentals, local attractions, and more. It's an easy and kind way to support this channel and make sure you get the best possible deals on your trip. Thank you. Anhub Metaverse Team.